Just play shell, a lot of Tampa 2, a lot of disguise, cover 2, and, played over the top. So they did a good job of that. But I feel like we were executing in ways, but just some of those negative plays that we got to just fix. But I thought we moved the ball pretty well, but just got to just put it in the end zone or try to create an explosive somehow. But yeah, we'll be seeing that all year, so we got to get used to it.
CJ, I know that you all have the next man up mentality, but what is the difference from a quarterback's perspective when you're so used to playing with one set of offensive linemen and picked up their tendencies, they know your tendencies, and then all of that gets shuffled within a matter of days?
Yeah, it's not easy, It's something that what you're going to complain about, or you're just, or you're going to lay down, or you're going to go play. So for me, I just try to compete. Trying to compete as best as I can and show those guys that I don't care who's in there, like, I trust in you. And by the way I play, I try to play as hard as I can to show that I'm there for them, and also vocally as well. So, but yeah, even, our receiver a little bit, we got some guys, hopefully coming back hopefully soon. So, it's not always easy, but, that's why I'm in the position I am, to try to, solve some of those issues, because everybody deals with injuries. But, I think I've try to do my best at that.
Have any experience that you have, and obviously didn't come up with the results that you wanted today, but what do you take from this game to be able to learn from it and come back stronger in week 2?
Yeah, I take just negative plays. I think it's kind of obvious. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot consistently and expect to win. And that starts with me, with a lot of different things. I got to get rid of the ball better and, use my legs maybe a little more. But, I think, there's a lot of hope still. We did a lot of good things. It's a really good defense, a really good team. But I definitely think we could have won. But just shoulda, woulda, coulda all day. We didn't deserve to win that game because we didn't do the right things. So when you come out in NFL lollygagging and not going through the motions, that kind of happens. So I think we'll be all right. But I think it's a good wake up call for us.
CJ, you talk about using the legs. You did that today. You also seem like you made a few checkdowns, use different players. Something you're feeling more comfortable with?
Yeah, definitely. I try to use my athleticism as best I can, and I tell those guys, if you're open, you'll get the ball. So those guys, I think, did a good job, and getting separation in routes. But I think there's a lot of growing to do still there.
What do you feel like? You mentioned that you feel like it's a wake-up call. Why do you feel like today's outing was kind of a wake-up call for you guys?
I just think the way we practiced this week, I think we could have practiced better. I think, I love the confidence we have, but there's I always say there's like a type of mindset is like, did I do enough? And I think it's a healthy way to be, because then you'll probably do more. So I just, for me, preparing, I got to do a better job. And I also got to hold my guys accountable, for that one exotic. And it's the first game of the year. We got a lot of exotic looks we did not expect. They did too, but they made the play. So you can come with a million excuses. We got to just be better.
Same lines. What in particular, you were saying you were optimistic. What in particular were the things that give you optimism that this isn't potentially a long-term problem, that you can get it back?
Yeah, I thought the quick pass game was efficient. I thought the run game was efficient in ways. There's a lot of things that I think we didn't get to because of the negative play. So Nick kind of had his hands tied around his back. It's hard to operate in 2nd and 20 and, those type of systems. And, that's something that, sadly, we've gotten used to, and we got to fix that here. We can't expect to win close games like that. So and we got to just make plays. I think they made more plays than us. We got to come down with just better urgency, I think.
CJ, you had mentioned that you got coming to the line now. You got a lot more freedom to do. Was there enough situation where you sort of like the check me, and when you got to the line, it was just a situation that everything just didn't pan out enough? What you felt like that you could have had enough check me to make some changes at the line when they presented a different front from what you was expecting? We did everything we thought we were going to do. Yeah, so it was pretty on at least the passing game. They had the fronts we thought they were going to have, and I did it correctly. I think we missed. I missed one or two, and those are the points in the game where So I got to do a better job of being in control up there and helping those guys out to get the IDs correct. So
Yeah, but other than that, I thought we did a decent job at it. I missed about 2. So, but I think like then again, and I'm not trying to come with excuses, but it's our first game, first time in the system. We'll be better, and I trust in my guys. It will be all right.
How much, I mean, obviously you want to get a win today, but how much does it help to have this game now done and you can see real game that counts, kind of really to evaluate where you guys are and the tweaks that you got to make?
I think it's good. It's early. There's a bunch of upside I think we could possibly have. I always try to think positively and give ourselves a little grace, but also there's some urgency and there's some things we need to fix. So I know the conversations will be hard and, we'll be hard on each other, but I think it's a good thing. It's where friction is I think that's love. So I want to see all my teammates do well. And I think, when there's friction in that, I think sometimes it's a good thing just in a positive way. So.
Being a SoCal kid, what was it like being back here playing in front of your fans?
Oh, it was cool, man. I was, very blessed. Just riding in, seeing, places where I used to go growing up, fields I used to play at, high schools and stuff like that. I think it's, amazing. I love where I'm from. I love my village, and I think the state of California has really backed me in a lot of ways. So very grateful for that, and I love LA, but wish I got a dub here.
When you kind of felt like the urgency wasn't there, or wasn't at the level you needed it to be at least as an offense, what did you just kind of do to try to get that jump started to get the urgency more there from the offense?
Yeah, for me, I think in those type of moments, there's things vocally that need to be said. But I think, for me, execution breeds energy. So, like, when you're not executing, who is going to be smiling and running around having energy? You got to execute. So I think that's the point, is like the execution goes up, the energy goes up. And even in times, because it's NFL, they get paid too. We're not going to always be on the other side of good. We got to have a certain type of tenacity and grit to push past the negativity and push past the negative plays. And I think we'll do a better job at that.
It seems like you did a good job of evading pressure often. What were you seeing, or what did you feel like allowed you to be able to do that?
Yeah, these first games, I think for me, you never know what they're going to do. They could be doing their old stuff. They could try new things. They could be. It was the same coordinator, but it could be a new coordinator. For me, first games, I always just trust my instincts, trust my training, trust my fundamentals, trust my God-given talent, and I think that helps me to play faster and to have a little bit of swag out there. And I think I kind of did that today. So hopefully keep that up. But yeah, just early on in the season, before you get like a real rapport or like idea what the defense is doing, you got to just play with your instincts.
Yeah, our offensive line was our offensive line. We had 5 guys we had out there that were up, and injuries unfortunately happen throughout the week, so shuffling will take place. That's the NFL. That's the nature of the league. Guys go down. You have to move guys around, and we don't complain about it. It's, hey, you got to show up and just get your job done.
How difficult could it be for a guy like Ariante, who's that left tackle majority of camp post West Virginia? I think he's kind of switched that right last minute. How difficult could that be for him?
Ariante has played both left and right tackle all throughout training camp. He's done a nice job of it.
Do you feel when it comes to, as an offense, finishing some of the good things that were started, where do you feel like progress could be made?
Yeah, for us, offensively, in the first half, we drove down. We got field goals. We needed to get in the end zone there, but we had some really successful drives, just got to end in the end zone. And then there, at the end of the game, it's the NFL, right? Fourth quarter, that's why everybody watches it. We got the ball. We got a chance to drive down and score. We're making progress. We're making plays. And the one thing that we talked about, the main thing throughout the week of what it was going to take for us to win this game, it was protecting the football, right? They took the ball away 2 times and took it at the most critical time of the game there as we were driving down to score. They make a play to take the football away, but we're in striking distance. We don't make the play. They made the play. Credit to the Rams. They showed up, and they played really well today, and they made the plays, and we came up short on a few.
DeMeco, how difficult were the 11 penalties? Those look like they really altered drives as well.
Yeah, the penalties it's uncalled for, right? It's all controllable, things we can control, and if you stand up here and we're talking about negative plays, talking about going backwards, this is not what we talked about. Main thing offensively, wanted to stay on track, right? And we got some unfortunate penalties that put us behind the sticks, and just put us in some really long third downs that we weren't not able to manage. So we had to clean up the penalties.
Did the Rams' initial drive in the third quarter, coming out from the locker room, did that alter what y'all wanted to do or tried to do, make from the adjustment standpoint, and after they scored, did that sort of alter anything? Because it looked like y'all stalled in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, they made some plays. We of course made adjustments there in the second half. They came out, they scored, they went down and scored on us. Not how we were expecting to come out. Like, we gotta stand up and make a play there, and they got us, and it goes back to us on defense. Main thing was just eye discipline. Right? We didn't play with great eye discipline, so they made plays when our eyes were not in the right spot. We're looking in the backfield, they're throwing the football. Guess what? Guy's going to be wide open. So that's things that we control, and that's the main thing about this game. Rams did a good job, but there are a lot of things that we control: penalties, eye discipline, just the urgency. We control all of that.
Coach, what made it so difficult when it came to defending against guys like Puka Nacua, especially the wide receiver core?
Yeah, Puka made some plays. I think Puka, he did a nice job today making some plays, and credit to him. He's a good player.
Coach, you talk about the go ahead, Kim.
Can you talk about just how CJ played? I mean, I know ultimately you want to win, but there's a lot of talk about him having more control. He seemed to move the ball to various people. What do you think about him?
I thought CJ played really nice. He made some nice plays for us. Really, at the end of the half, I thought it was very impressive on the 2-minute drive to drive down and get us in field goal range. Him tucking the ball, running it, getting us in field goal range. Really heads-up play, smart play by him. Really managed the offense well, made some nice throws, and unfortunately, we came up short. He made some nice plays under pressure. They got us on a few as well, but that happens. But I'm really proud of the way CJ played.
Coach, you talk about the next man up mentality all the time with your team. But how difficult is it for a quarterback like C.J. Stroud, who has been playing with a certain group and gotten used to their tendencies, they've gotten used to his tendencies, and then all of a sudden, all that becomes different because of the injuries and the things that you have to shuffle. Does that make it harder on him?
Not for me, Sarge. It's injuries happen. Guys go down all the time. Like, do we not show up? Do we put the ball away and go home? Like, we compete. It doesn't matter who's out there. All right, whatever the job is, whatever the assignment is called for, man, we're NFL players. You got to man up and be able to do your job. So we don't complain. We don't make excuses for guys having to be shuffled, injuries happening. You don't make excuses for that. That happens all across the league every year. It's just about, man, whoever steps up in that spot, like, how are you owning your opportunity, right, man? You should be thankful and grateful to have that opportunity to step in and show that you're ready for that challenge. You're ready for whatever takes place. And so no complaining. Just keep pressing forward.
How would you assess how the defense played overall?
The defense, I think overall, third down was not good enough for me. We had some opportunities to get off on third down, and they made plays, and we didn't. I think that's where it kind of got out of hand for us there. One thing we talked about is tackling there on the fourth down play. We got a chance to stop them there, 4th and 1 on their goal line. We're in good position. We just got to make the tackle, right? Things we talked about, just tackling, right, being sticky in coverage and making the plays when we needed to make the plays.
Nico, ideally, would you like to, with what you saw, that sample size, involve Nick Chubb perhaps even more going forward?
I will go back and look at the film. I seen a couple runs where Nick definitely ran the ball well. He did a good job of gaining some yardage, which we've seen him do multiple times. He's not surprising anyone. Nick's a great player, and, of course, we'd love to see him get going more.
Talk about Hutchinson and how he was able to be a really good target for CJ today.
Yeah, Hutchinson, he's been showing up since OTAs, training camp. He's been showing up, making plays, so it doesn't surprise me that he's the guy that CJ connects with and makes plays for us. Right? Him had a nice run on the jet sweep there. Hutch is one of our hardest workers. He's always working, always showing up, guy you can count on.
Let me go was there any thought in challenging the interception by Kobe Durant? And then I'll ask a second.
I saw the interception there. It was right in front of me. Kid made a nice play on the football, so there was not a thought to challenge it because I was right there in front and saw the kid made a really nice play.
And how much did the Rams taking away Nico and the lack of explosive plays do you think played a part in not scoring touchdowns?
It doesn't matter what happens. Like, whoever is taken away, we got 11 guys out there. So the Rams defense, they did a nice job, but did we execute well enough? No. We had penalties, moved ourselves backwards, a couple things there we can definitely control. So credit to them, but we can play better all across the board.
CJ did a nice job of keeping you guys in the game and not making any, mistakes. Just what have you seen in terms of his progression to be more better in decision making, stuff like that?
Yeah, CJ, man, he works at it. He works at his craft. He's a really good player. Really like what he's done for us. He gave us a chance there to win the game. That's what, to be a top quarterback in this league, that's what you have to do. It's going to be a 2-minute drive. Can you drive down, put yourself in position to score and go score? CJ has that capability. We just have to finish it.
Coach, what is the conversation that you had with Dare? We know that he is one of those players that he wears his heart on his sleeve and he gives you his all for, that unfortunate play that happened at the end of the game.
Yeah, Dare, a veteran player for us, captain. That's one of those moments. What do you say? You don't have to say anything. Like, everyone knows how hurt he is. I know his pain. I know what he's feeling. It's a tough moment. He's been one of our most dependable guys. And the Rams kid made a nice play, put his hat on the football, bang, bang play. Really nice play by them, right? So it's Dare, he'll bounce back. He'll continue to do. He made a nice play there to get us down in striking distance. So that's the nature of the league, right? But no one's more hurt about that than Dare.
Coach, you used a lot of you guys use different guys from the running back position. Is that the thought that because of the depth there that you'll use more players?
For sure, we have a lot of depth. 3 guys, we feel 4 guys that can run the ball and make plays for us. So it was a thought to get all those guys some touches, try to keep our guys as fresh as possible.
You showed a tendency. I mean, that was a tendency y'all got, particularly with Nick being tough inside there. Was that a lack of consistency maybe going back to that? Because when y'all shown that Nick could get that inside tough yardage, I mean, that seemed like it was his best plays were coming from the inside. Was it something y'all want to stick to or just something that's just the way it is because of the Rams being that type of front that they had?
Yeah, I thought we could have stuck with it more. I mean, you saw that's where our plays were made, where Nick was running the football down the middle. We had good double team, good movement up front. So something we have to look at again, just see what we can stick to and what do we execute best to give ourselves the best chance to win the game. But Nick did a really nice job.
Can we go on Jake Andrews? How much concern is there? Obviously, we're against Cardinal, it's usually.
Yeah, Jake had a foot injury, so we'll be monitoring that and evaluating a little bit more throughout the week.
Last one, DJ.
How would you just kind of assess how your D-line played against their O-line? How would you also assess how your O-line played against their D-line?
Yeah, we go back and watch the film. I thought overall our D-line created pressure, but Stafford did a really nice job, as he's done all his career, man, of getting the ball out fairly quickly. Right, and we have to be stickier in coverage to make him hold the ball a little bit longer. But our D-line, man, they got after it like it was expected. And our front, we had some good plays. Again, they made some plays versus us too and I think we would love to have back. But 2 really good fronts. Their defensive line, our defensive line, 2 good fronts, and they both for the strength today.